America is headed for an absolutely certain race war, a conflagration almost, in a weird parallel, eschatological, as in the end of times. I mean the grand finale. And you know, the future has not been written, the outcome is not predetermined, but if Americans continue to reward those who profit from division and who amplify those who preach resentment and ignore those who seek unity, the consequences will be profound. Now, the choice remains ours. We can continue down a path of suspicion and grievance and tribalism and savagery, or we can rediscover the idea that citizenship matters more than race, that character. I know this sounds old-fashioned, but that character matters more than identity, and that our common future matters more than our divisions. History will ultimately decide which choice we made. History will do that. History. Right now, we are seeing more and more individuals, more and more people, more and more instances of violence everywhere for no particular reason. Not even for reasons that deal with a grievance. Not that a grievance necessarily makes sense, but we're not hearing anything that's even remotely, how do we say this, relevant or cogent. It doesn't make any sense to go into a Five Guys and tear things up because we don't know why. This is a very, very dangerous moment we're in. And we're seeing a number of people who are black. Now remember, whenever I say that, the very first thing that happens, people say, no, wait. Not everybody who's black. Here we go, the usual thing. Nobody's saying that everybody who does this is black. This is the same thing that happens when people try to suggest that maybe our Middle East policy is a bit daft. Oh, no. Don't be anti-Semitic. And you're saying, I never brought up Jews or Judaism. I could be talking about Muslims in Palestine. You don't even know what I'm saying. Immediately, we're into these traps. Don't say that. Well, we're going to say it. And you can ignore this all you want. You can pretend it's not happening. You can do it. I mean, it's completely and totally up to you. But I'm telling you, it's happening. It's escalating. And people in this country are being told, listen, you have the right. You have earned this degree of resentment. It is not only natural, it is good, it is normal, it is healthy, it is something that is beneficial, that it is something that benefits all of us, for you to reacquaint yourself and to re-embrace this sense of anger. Slavery. I'm not going to argue whether slavery occurred. I'm not going to do this. I'm not there. I will tell you this. There comes a point when you should never, ever forget what happened, but it never provides the basis or bases for violence, especially this schizophrenic, larcenous, looting violence. This violence, when somebody goes into the back of a Chipotle and grabs a fryer basket and deposits the contents, this has nothing to do with slavery. This is thuggery. This is mob behavior. This is insanity. And you can pretend all you want. You can say there's a reason for it. There is no reason. But let me tell you something. Listen to me carefully. It's happening. I know what's happening. Social media provides a fuel. Social media provides a fuel, an absolute fury of fuel. It does something. It gives people the imprimatur, the okay, the sense of cultural or societal absolution. It's okay. You deserve, you earn this. Go. Watching the Carmelo Anthony case, the verdict, I'm seeing mobs of anger that is performative. People looking at each other, say, I can get angrier than that. Looking into cameras, screaming and yelling, many times a language I do not understand. I am telling you, I feel like I'm living in a foreign country. I don't know what these folks are saying. Not all, but a lot. Somewhere along the lines in our communicative phylogenetic tree, this group, this aspect, this branch of it, went into a linguistic area that has never recovered since. I don't know what they are saying. I promise you, when you say this, the first thing they're doing is they're watching. They're saying, how can I find what he's saying racist? There's nothing racist about it. It's true. That's the worst reality, something that's true. I am told constantly, that race, that the white man, the all-white jury, that the white people, the white man's justice, and the white business, and the white nationalism, and the white supremacism, white. And if I said, hey, that's racist, they look at you like, what are you talking about? Of course it's racist. We can say that. You can't. That is our thing. That is our thing. Give me an example. If somebody were to say, the rules right now is if somebody said something that is contrary to, let's say, Israeli policy, you will oftentimes hear, that's anti-Semitic. Okay. If somebody were to say something about, let's say, anti-Palestine or anti-Semite, the Levant or anti-Middle East, that's not anti-Semitism. That is called Islamophobia. But technically speaking, the Semites are the same. Can't do that. One time, there was a group of people who used, it was regarding Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and somebody used the word Holocaust, a nuclear Holocaust. They said, nope, that is not your word. That is the Holocaust that occurred during, and it did, of course, in Europe, Eastern Europe, World War II, Nazis, Hitler. That's ours. Can't use that. And they say, wait a minute. Under the definition, the hell with the definition. Doesn't matter what the definition is. Don't matter. Doesn't matter. Can't use that. You cannot use that word. You cannot use that word. Somebody one time said that they used the word crusade, and there was an Islamic group that said, that is reminiscent of the Crusades and Torquemada. So what we're doing is those who want to address this, are boxed in. Can't say this, can't say that, don't say this, don't say that. And what happens is, meanwhile, the discussion stops. I'm here to tell you, those days are over. Those days are over. We're talking about this. We are talking about this. And the best part about it is that race laws, hate, I should say race, not race, hate crimes, which, by the way, I'm intellectually against, but they are always used if somebody is normally a non-black defendant against a black victim. It is per se race crime. I keep saying race. Hate. It's kind of the same. Maybe this is a Freudian slip. You never hear somebody who, for example, nobody's ever demanded that Carmelo Anthony be charged with a hate crime. That's done. Let me tell you something. I've never heard this sense of enough like I'm hearing now. I've never heard this enough. That's enough. That's enough. That's enough. We've had it. And it's weird how that works. Sometimes something will be tolerated over a period of time, over a length of time, and then it takes one little event, one moment, for there to be this enough. And it changes. That is now. That is now. And unless something is done to nip this in the bud, we are going to see urban, neighborhood, city, nationwide, a racial conflagration. And you're also going to see new participants in it. Before, during George Floyd, sit home, stay home, let a number of people tear and destroy up your neighborhoods. Watch the plywood go up. Watch the car dealerships protect themselves. Watch the jewelry stores loot it. No. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. What I'm telling you is that this time it is different. What do you think? Please like this video, subscribe to our channel, hit that little bell so you're notified of live streams and new videos. And I've got some questions for you to answer. My question is, what do you think? Are we at the end of our rope? Comment, dear friend, comment as you see fit.